this is going to be my match against gamesou. Another old school player. In fact, I think that this person was old school, slightly old school when I started playing, which was in turn kind of old school by now standards. I think that I kind of started like being in the Dominion League and stuff in 2015. Speaking of League, I did have a good match against this person when we just played a month ago. Not a great voice this morning, apparently. But of course, it might always want to be different. This, I think, is just Silver trying to get a Falconer or something pretty early. That sounds like it would be good. Cavalry and Changeling is nice, although this is a board where you might actually just be perfectly happy with horses. But yeah, I don't think I want to open with a cavalry. That doesn't sound very good. Also a strong board for Stampede. Stampede, of course, if you just like really want to rush Joust stuff, you can do like what I might do here is buy Joust and then hope to buy Stampede next turn and kind of instantly have that province potential. I would kind of rather organize a deck that works. And Joust, if I buy it here, really sucks if I don't hit 5 in the next turn. Which is slightly unlikely, I think. So I'd rather just have the Falconer. Yeah. Question is, should I buy another silver? Yeah, I think I do. Stampede is still good, even if you're, like, not buying a province with it. I don't like a Pilgrim very much. There's nothing wrong with it, really. Yeah, this, I could get a... So I was thinking of buying a cavalry, except that, I'm hoping to buy a Falconer, and then I would rather gain a Royal Galley as my extra card, so I actually think that the correct thing here is gain a Changeling. I don't want to exchange that for a Changeling that would go into my discard pile. This, I guess, might trigger their... Well, I'm not going to get out of triggering their Falconer if they have one. And they don't. This is slightly awkward. I think I will... I think that they definitely have a Falconer in this hand, right? And they might have drawn it. I mean, if they drew with another Falconer, that would suck. I'm just going to get a cavalry here and not get any usage out of the extra cards this turn, probably. But I push through them, and I think that cavalry is a slightly good card to have in my deck. Probably better than Changeling. Very soon I'm going to want to have something that just gives me +1 action. Which is to say I'm going to gain a hunting party at my next 5, I think. Maybe that's supposed to be Joust. I mean, this isn't that good of a board, and... I just gained this over, okay. Stampede. The fact that any of those can be changelings, in fact, I definitely should have thought of that. And I don't know if I ever had a moment where that was good. In fact, I never hit 5, although there's one turn that I gained the royal galley. Anyway. So their turn, their hand is all horses, so hilariously I don't have to worry about Falconer stuff. I think that this is... This, I think, is a changeling to gain another Falconer once again. Rogue Galley and Joust is slightly nice, but also slightly awkward. I'm gonna make sure I'm recording. Yeah, I'm recording and I'm not muted. Okay, cool. Problem is that Falconers depreciate in usefulness pretty quickly once all these cards are gone. But that's not going to happen for a while, so I'll take a third one. And I'll do the Joust. Oh my god, I don't have that Falconer to play. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just that I'm gaining another... I was going to gain another Royal Galley anyway, so... So yeah, I don't see what they're doing with this turn. Also, I kind of haven't put enough thought into Bridge Troll. It's kind of hard because actions are so hard to come by in this. Sure, yeah, I guess that's something that you can do in your Stampede turn, in fact. The fact that they traded in none of their horses means that they kind of just get to do this instead, which is buy as many cavalries as they want and exchange them for changelings, although they're not going to buy doing it. Which is fair. Oh yeah, they should have both of their Falconers in their hand. Do I just want to gain the extra Royal Galley? I guess so. The other idea there was just like gaining cavalry because I knew that these 5 cards weren't so good, and so doing like a lot of gain cavalry just to cycle 2 cards. So I'm thinking about that a lot. Joust, yeah, I don't really want the second Joust. I'm even kind of skeptical of the first Joust because just doing hunting party and planning to get Royal Galleys going. To do this, and I kind of don't want this changeling in my deck. Huh. This, I think, is a turn where I want to hunt down a royal galley. And I found it. It's still crummy, and I'm not really not moving through my deck as fast as I'd like. I think that this is going to be a changeling to gain a joust. And then I'm not going to buy anything else. The other idea was to gain a silver in a hunting party, but that didn't seem particularly better. I don't know. Also kind of past the point of ever being able to stampede, which is maybe a slight problem with the way that I chose to build this. I'm also starting to like that pilgrim. Or rather, I would like to have a pilgrim around now. Maybe I don't. Yeah, province, nice. Pilgrim is good for buying a province. Take a cavalry here. Oh, well, I also got to gain a province, probably. JK, I probably don't. This is a slightly crummy hand for changelings, because I don't want falconers anymore. But very nice to have a hunting party set aside. Except for the fact that I can't play with changeling. I can't do it with changeling. Maybe I won't complain about just getting to turn 2 royal galleys into, or turn 2 changelings into royal galleys. Maybe I'd take a bridge roll here. I think that is just hunting party. Maybe falconer is better. Like 1 falconer. I don't really like having 5 of them though. The pilgrim slightly helps them line up their province, so I suspect that they'll probably be able to get one here even if they don't have it right now. They're kind of like hanging out on this decision point for a while. Yeah, I don't suppose that they'd be... Interesting to do that before playing, or after playing the joust. Maybe they couldn't have afforded it. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so I'm going to probably be behind on the reward race. There isn't anything that... The reason that I'm not super gung-ho on the prizes is that there isn't anything that the rest of the kingdom can't do, including cost reduction. It's just that I think that the prizes do them slightly more efficiently than everything else. And the prizes are really nice to hit with Royal Galley. But yeah, I mean, even... It's funny that even the cost reduction you can do. But yeah, drawing, getting actions is all kind of awkward because you have to do it with expensive stuff plus Royal Galley. Another galley. I sort of agree with it. Sure, I'll take a galley here. It's nice. Definitely super low piles here. Although Falconer's not that easy to pile out. Play this first. Maybe I wasn't supposed to do that in case I buy a province this turn, but don't I have more jousts? I do have a second joust. I'm also not going to buy a province this turn. Darn. This might want to be the Pilgrim. They also still have a slightly reasonable chance of not being able to find. Yeah. Not being able to find the province, but it's just pretty low, I think. I mean, if they don't see it here, I don't know if they have the draw to get to it. Also, I mean, the fact that they got to gain all the royal galleys is nice. I have slightly more stuff that's nice to hit with the royal galley, and I'm kind of, I mean, other than this pilgrim, I kind of have the drawing thing kicked off a little better. Oh, you didn't find it. Damn. Oh. Yeah, I guess that works. Yeah, okay. The bottom two cards, that's pretty brutal. So they gain the Falconer. Or they buy a Falconer, which they used to play the Falconer. Okay. So, usually you want to... Oh, here's what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to play this. Interesting. I think I'm slightly likely to find Royal Galley with this. Interesting. I think that I just don't have a way to proc the... Yeah, I'm really nervous about the idea of lowering cavalries, although I don't think that they're actually not going to be able to pile them, most likely. Because they're having a crummy turn now that the province thing didn't work out. Which is really brutal. I now think that I'm like kind of in a winning position, which I would not be if my opponent were up a province. Anyway, I'm thinking here about if I want to play Falconer to gain a cavalry, or if I want to do something different. I think I'm just going to play this very boringly. This just gets more horses into my deck. Because you have a bunch of horses. This first. Should I play the Royal Galley before the Pilgrim? Or play the other thing for the Pilgrim? I think I'm going to hunt down the province first. I don't find it, but that's fine. instantly draw the province. So in like an extremely cruel twist of fate, I get the renown here first, which I actually think is going to be enough to win the game. Because it's very easy to gain cavalries. But then I also have to like buy a province and some stuff. Can I afford to do that? I don't know. I have a lot of stuff in my discard. Maybe I was supposed to play out the cavalry first. Oh, and I can gain all the cavalries in response if I want. Is that... Do I have the money for this? Oh, I'm so scared. Because I can gain a bunch of estates. I totally do have the money, because it's just... Yeah. Ah. GG. Tough break for them. I mean, this next turn that I had was strong enough that I actually think that I might have been able to beat... Well... I get to be starting player. Maybe they would have been able to do exactly what I just did if they had found the renown. Although I think that they were like kind of out of actions or something. I don't know. No, they would probably be able to make it work. I mean, they had like... They would have needed to just... I think they were always ahead in terms of VP, and they would have just needed to pile out the cavalries. What does River do? Alright, well. Pretty easy one there, I think. This might be... I mean, I'm getting at least one of these. Might be like develop Riverboat, but I don't know. It's something that you want to play. I mean, it's, first of all, really nice board to be player one. Although I think, you know, Joust also makes you want to be player one, but oh, sorry, let me look at the kingdom here. Definitely just being able to play Witch on turn 4. So they go for the develop, which is possibly better for player 2 because it's really hard, in fact impossible, for you to get a Witch into my deck before my third shuffle. And you just don't have any obligation to do that. Okay, so I don't understand that. We're gonna have $4 next turn. I'll just scrounge here, I think. I think that opening with 0 riverboats is kind of silly. I mean, it's sort of defensible what they're doing. I don't know about any of this. I think that like I don't want to gain anything else like that. I guess Vassal's nice with Citygate, sort of. Maybe 1 Carpenter is fine. But there isn't that much that I want to gain, really. Maybe I'll take a vassal here and expect that I might be forced to buy city gate on this turn. Like if I just draw, I don't know, if I draw a copper vassal. I know, I feel really good. Yeah, exactly. As I said, yeah, I'll take the city gate. I feel really good having played riverboats every turn, that's for sure. So what do we get first here? Just a denizen, I think. I'm kind of looking at nobles. I just kind of don't like that I don't have duration draw this turn. Yeah, that's the big feature. I might like it develop soon. Cartographer. Am I doing anything with nobles yet if I gain it? I don't really think so. I'll just gain this first. I don't know. It's a card that definitely doesn't do anything at all. But I think the next thing that I want is to develop. They're definitely getting the ball rolling. Play that. This next hand, maybe that's supposed to be a denizen because I knew that this next hand was going to be horrible and wasn't going to find a riverboat. They're finding the riverboats pretty often. I'm not really going to complain about that. I think I'll do this. Vassal's nice. They might... They're not going to win the curse split, are they? No, because I'm kind of already at 5, but they might send me the next 2 curses if they play a riverboat this turn. It feels like it would be hard, but maybe I'm overrating that. I don't feel like it shouldn't be in the shuffle. That, please. Okay, so I do get to send the last curse. Their carpenter is gonna be kind of crummy now, I think. Actually, no, it'll be kind of good because there's still estates in the deck. I think that scrounge is better than anything here. Kind of forgot that it could trash curses. So I bought Vassal over Scrounge a couple turns ago. Maybe that wasn't right. But vassal's pretty good. Like, I don't know, it lets you gain a denizen or something. Helps you gain nobles. Helps you gain all the good cards. So I guess we've each trashed 2 curses. So I think that I do win the curse split, although the math on that is not super obvious. There's no way to make this work. So I'll just top deck the riverboat. Then I guess both of us are going to be continually going for nobles. I suspect that I'll find the develop here and not really anything else interesting. I don't know. You know what? I really don't want to have like more than 2 vassals is the thing. I don't really agree with that. I mean, that... Oh, I thought that they're developing the riverboat. Yeah, trashing it is fine like that. Top take a card. This might actually just be to trash a cards. I don't really want to gain any of these things. Maybe I do want to gain a vassal, contrary to what I just said. Also kind of looking at scrounging to gain back an estate. That sounds really bad, especially when I could just scrounge away a curse. But it really sucks if you have more than 1 vassal in a hand. It's just that, I don't know, it turns out to not be the worst card once you have a bunch of actions. Nobles is really a killer as the village. Cartographer's nice. In fact, maybe underrating Cartographer. I just don't think I've had a chance to really get it, and every time that I've had that much money, I just gain a nobles. It's funny that they've had 3 $5 hands, apparently. Maybe more than that. They were just buying Cartographer over nobles. There was a while where there's a couple times where I bought, like, Develop or something over something that cost 5 or something. Anyway, this looks like they're ahead, I think. Well, my one thing is that I'm surely more trashed. I think the Carpenter is better for them in their deck than out of it. I don't know what that means. Yeah, so this kind of sucks. It doesn't matter how I do this. Definitely sucks. I think that this is just another nobles. I think that that's better than a province. This is just nasty. Really? Oh, man. So, eventually the thing to do would be to start getting wine merchants. I don't know if anybody has time to do that. That sucks. Why is that happening? You're just like finding things. Maybe it means that both these turns they've just not had anything in their hand that they really want to play. Interesting. Not really doing anything interesting here. No, I hilariously have no threat of is this like the saddest province in the world, or do I get the nobles and play like a kind of risky game? I don't think that, just because of all the cartographers that they have, I think it's hard for me to win a really long game. I don't really have any ability to like pressure piles. I don't know. This seems bad, but I don't think that they can win this turn. It's just that they'll probably win in like 3 turns. And that also might not be true. I mean, they can develop something and carpenter something and buy a province, even buy duchy. Probably not. They can't. Oh, and they don't have the carpenter anymore, so that's even harder. Things are not looking good for me this next hand. Here's the thing, is if they don't score this turn, I might just randomly find my develop and win the game. But even if they like trash a curse or something, I'm still good. So yeah, they can buy a province this turn, and then they're in the position that I just said that I was in. And I don't think I'm going to be able to buy a province. But I think that just buying a nobles puts me in a less bad position. I got rid of the carpenter. That was like something that, I mean, it's hard for them to play that, but it was something that gave them like an interesting bit of leverage. Okay, well, this is something that buys a province. Perfectly serenely, in fact. They just have like no duration stuff. They're just like, I mean, they have the riverboat, and City Gate is something that helps, but otherwise they're just busting into each turn, ready to face the world. I also feel like I just have the 1 curse in my deck. Is that true? So you have 3 curses somehow. Well, I guess that that continues along with the math that has already been at play in this game. So I feel like you're not going to be able to buy a province here. I also feel like I'm not going to be able to buy a province. Yeah, so I'm going to have the same turn. Unless I want to yellow the snowballs. But I'm obliged to do the same thing. It's too scary to be down points. This looks bad. I guess this is just the sort of hand that I have a lot of in my deck. Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's those 4 cartographers are like going to start being really strong at around this point. Once there's just going to be like permanent crud in the deck in terms of victory points. I'm never going to have a turn where I have like enough leverage to like do anything interesting. The one potential plan that I would have is to like also have a carpenter and just like draw into something. Like just have a turn where I'm like just barely getting like vassal, and like duchy, and that gives me a points lead or something. It's like I can trash a denizen or something if I want. But I don't think that that's ever going to work out like that. I just think that this would be totally brutal if I was in the same position, but I only had 3 nobles. Not that the nobles are really power cards in this deck, but still. Yeah, they're going to buy a province with the strength of their cartography. This is looking bad. So now at least you can't trash an estate into a vassal and buy a vassal. Like, that's not enough points, but still really bad shape. Because this is just going to get worse before it gets better. And it's not going to get better, in fact. All that said, it remains true that I have more curses trash. That might actually probably doesn't counteract the cartographer effect, but still. I also think that I got to trash more coppers. I've trashed 2 coppers, at least. And I think that they have 1. So they had nothing happen during that turn. Okay, so what's up with that? I don't get it. Play, please. Um... This is a chance where I could, so what do I have in this next hand? I have like a vassal and a curse and something else. I think that's a province. Is this the part where I start scrounging for duchies? I think that it's not. Or maybe it is. If I scrounge for duchy, then I have pretty good odds of being able to do that develop thing. That's not sure. I'm just going to gain a duchy. Here's an awesome vassal hint. Okay, so wait, that wasn't a province. So I just don't have 2 provinces. I guess I thought it did. This looks like they'll be able to gain a province. Was there ever a moment that I could have actually done that exact thing that turn and... No, I don't think that I had enough. Like, I never had enough actions to do anything. Probably get to trash a curse here every time you do that. That makes your deck so much better. So I do get to buy a province here, though, if I want. So I technically continue to have a points lead. But everything in my deck that does anything is currently in my discard pile. I guess I could draw with nobles and potentially scrounge for a duchy, which is at least as good as gaining a duchy at this point, or buying a duchy. In fact, I will just top deck the nobles, because I might be able to get something going with that next turn. Do I, like, do the vassal thing here? You just found your develop. Maybe I top deck a vassal just because it makes my next turn better. Does that make any sense? I'm going to end up with a very narrow victory points lead. You also can't get away with gaining a duchy next turn. I think that they really haven't been looking at scrounge for duchy. It's like the kind of thing that feels like it should be made illegal by the card. so you didn't find your develop last turn. Okay, then never mind. This is... There's no reason to do that. But it would be slightly nice to have a vassal this turn. So yeah, I mean, you can't gain a duchy now. So it's province or bust. Obviously, you can if you want, but... Oh, yeah, it totally does it. Sure. Yeah, okay. GG. Let's see, maybe there's the, it's not letting me click ready. To the new server. I don't know which one is the one that I'm supposed to be in. Other server. Which one's the other server? Sorry, this is something that's like a kind of ongoing problem. Hi. In the Dominion client is that it changes servers every hour. So it's supposed to be you go first. Wait, was I first player in that game? Yeah, I was, I think. Okay, we have Joust again. This is also surely a board where Joust is worth considering. Oh. I'm definitely not opening with it, though. Fool is kind of nice, because you're never getting rid of estates, and you can peril it. Looks like gamesou had the same thought, and I'm going to... Otherwise, I was just going to buy a do-nothing action because I want to eventually gain procession. You can also procession it if you want. I think I'm taking procession as soon as this turn. Maybe that's not true. Maybe I'm going to take the second spice merchant. And then kind of see how this fool works out. Not a super great draw. I think that you wanted to look at the top 4 cards first, because then whatever these cards that you just discarded are, they go into your next shuffle. Maybe it makes it slightly easier to find the bridge duel for next turn or something. Yeah, maybe that makes sense. Will-o-wisp, we're not going to do that. But I like to have the will-o-wisp. I might be happy to have the chance not to have to gain an extra silver. But I still think that this is probably procession. Nah, Procession has a large chance of being drawn dead. Well, if I draw Procession dead, then I can just peril it. And I really would like to Procession a Spice Merchant. Although I guess my reason for wanting to do that is just that... I don't know, this is weird. This might just be third Spice Merchant, with the plan of processioning every last one of them. Or periling them or whatever. This is actually shaping up to potentially be a really fast... Oh, I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. That's exactly what I wanted. Sure, I will trash this just to move through the deck. Do I want to borrow to gain an extra action card? Maybe I do. Snake Witch is kind of potentially brutal. I was going to peril this. But I think I can just play it. That looks like a fine hand. Okay. Oh wait, totally. Awesome. Okay, I kind of want to keep the lucky coin for now. We'll see if I'm allowed to continue with that. And yeah, because I don't have any stuff in my deck right now. This, I think, can be a bridge roll. I think that this is borrow in order to peril the Fool. Does that make any sense? Or do I just prefer... Well, I mean, if we both have Fools, then the Fool isn't so bad. So maybe this is just a Snake Witch. And then I think I also do want to buy a copper. Jeez. That Menagerie is nice. I don't really need one right now because I don't have any stuff in my deck, as previously mentioned. Another Fool. I don't understand that. Did you get rid of your other one? You did, okay. Kind of forgot that you did. Once again, Joust, the rewards don't do anything that the rest of the kingdom doesn't do. But it still seems kind of good. I'm like really not close to getting it though. That said, I mean, my deck is really good at playing bridge trolls. Oh, sure. That's defensible. Okay, that's kind of fine. Come on. So I don't get to do the. Maybe now it's time to ditch the lucky coin. So I don't get to do anything that I want on this turn. Grr. What's left on my deck? It's a Procession and a Snake Witch. Okay, this might... I'm thinking of... Come on. Thinking of a lot of things. Thinking of Menagerie and Peril Fool. Maybe it's Peril Spice Merchant and just be really, really sad about having to do that. Because that card actually doesn't do anything. Okay, why did I think that I could afford that? I think that it's still Peril. Doing slightly good. Nice. Okay, they even get to they get the +1 card +1 action. I hope that works out for you. Come on. Ah. Snake Witch. Turn Curse, please. Doesn't do anything the second time. Menagerie looks really nice. Okay, so I mean, for all my complaint, I'm definitely doing perfectly well with the cursing. Two Menagerie's overkill? It's just overkill. Maybe this is Procession and 2 more Snake Witches. Maybe it's Menagerie and 2 more Snake Witches. Maybe it's 2 Menageries and a Snake Witch. And there's even more possibilities yet for me to just kind of state. I really like Menagerie. I think that is 2 Menageries and a Snake Witch. Of course, that might turn out to totally suck if I just draw my estates. Don't have control over that. Obviously, I do have control over the fact that I chose to buy the Menageries, so they're also going to be able to do the Joust. But I really like having the deck that has 3 less curses in it, quite honestly. Even if they're going to be able to draw and do all kinds of stuff. In fact, Burnout is just awesome here, although they might even not choose to get it. Like, if they don't have anything in their deck here, or if they don't have any, like, money in their hand, which they should. They should have some stuff. But yeah, just being able to buy their pick of the litter here, it sounds really good. They don't have any money, but they do just get to buy, again, Infinity Menageries. Sounds great. Brutal. I will trash silver. Okay. Do I want to do that? Do I want to discard 3 to gain a gold? That doesn't actually sound so bad. I don't really want to play this lucky coin anymore. I have a pretty good hand waiting for me, I think. I'd really like to gain a procession this turn. I think I want a procession and a menagerie, so I'm not going to do this. No, I am going to do this. I'm not going to top deck anything. Yes, this is the hand I've been waiting for, I guess. They also get a really crummy hand, which I kind of needed them to get. Oh, and I don't agree with that. Interesting. I'm not going to bother doing this. I think I want to do this. That doesn't do anything. So I can just buy the province here. City's also starting to look really nice. Maybe I take a city and a joust. Maybe I just take 2 cities. I don't know. I mean, we're kind of at the point where I should just be abandoning joust as an idea, because just playing a bunch of bridge trolls sounds really good at this point. And the best prize has been taken. So I think I have menageries down in this deck, so I can kind of get away with borrowing. Maybe I don't really want to do that, though. I think this is just city snake witch menagerie. The city instantly works. And then pretty soon I'm going to be interested. Oh yeah, in fact, having a lot of curses really messes things up, because just does nothing. Because there's no way to get rid of them. Finally getting to bin the last of my spice merchant stuff. Definitely a slightly scary amount of pile lowerances here. But I still think that I want to get rid of the Fool. And get the Procession. What does the Procession even do? I don't know. Maybe I want to keep the Fool. So do you have a Fool anymore? No, you don't. I'm the only one that has a Fool, so let's just get rid of this. In fact, it might even just be better as a Spites Merchant, and that is slightly less scary, loweringly speaking. I'm not going to play this lucky coin. Darn. So I get another prize. As I said, I don't think the prizes are that good anymore, or they don't really do anything that like City doesn't do. But I really like being the one that has all these bridge trolls, for sure. Coronet is kind of nice if you're holding a bridge troll. They don't have like actions and stuff anymore. Okay, so they're really getting to draw. It's nice to get done. So they have a lot of stuff that they could do here. I think that I'm not at a point where I could lower and win. I think that this silver has like a slight chance of screwing me up. Oh, nice. That's actually kind of awesome. Let's see. My first instinct is to prioritize snake witching, or excuse me, to prioritize menagerie-ing, but I might be able to win, sort of, if I can give you enough curses. I kind of want to try this, but this feels really greedy. But I don't really have anything in my hand that is problematically duplicable. Okay, that's fine. Right, so something I should also think about is whether I can empty processions during my turn. I don't think that I have any way of doing that, though. Yeah, I somehow suspect that I don't have this many more menageries. This is interesting. Okay. Circle. Let's see. I think I can do this. I think I can pile. Right? I have like just barely a win here. Okay, I have slightly more than just barely a win. Wait. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. We can do this. Ah, jeez. GG, BRB. I gotta be right back for a second. Let me pause the recording, I guess. Okay. Yeah, that was a slightly hard kingdom, or there was a slightly hard last turn that was made extremely hard by the fact that I had to use the restroom. Really just difficult board too. And I don't know if I remember to show the kingdom last game, but I'm remembering it now. Yeah, and the difference maker in that one really seemed to be Snake Witch, which was not something obvious to me when I was looking at the thing initially. Right, so this is one of those boards where you don't really have draw. There's crop rotation, but that gets you up to 6 cards, which is also what Washtower does. There's no reason to bother with it. Guildhall might be kind of nice. Maybe this is just like something where you like throne room a bunch of gallerias. I think that you want to start with maroon in any case. Guildhall could also be good. I mean, Guildhall and a large amount of Galerias in play is something that can actually be an infinite because you buy a silver, you get a bunch of actions back, or you get a bunch of buys, and you use those buys to gain coppers, which you then gain silvers with. So if you have like 6 plays of a Galeria, that's actually like a pretty easy pile out, I think. That's my claim. So I'm going to aim to do that, I think. I mean, it's not hard to get many more. That's good. That's I think the plan for this board is to just do ridiculous Galeria stuff. I'm interested in a rope. Yep. Yep. I don't think that I want to instantly gain a Galleria, though. Maybe it's just a guild hall is my first 5. I'm going to have $5 this turn, this next turn. I think this is an ironworks. I should definitely try to think more about how that mega turn works. I can also do it with ropes. My thought is that the silvers would pile out, except I actually don't think that the math works out like that. But definitely the coppers pile out. And that gives you $46. Which is enough. I mean, it's enough to like buy out these states, for example, if you want. It's just that it has to be estates and also something else. But I assume that there's going to be another pile that's low. Okay, this is kind of awkward. I do want there to be stuff in my deck that I can Throne Room, because I already got one of those. So I'll take a Galeria now. What? Oh. Sure, that makes the pile out easy for me when it comes to it. All right. That kind of thinks I will, I guess, just take another Galeria here. I don't know. Maybe it's another maroon. Maybe I was supposed to take the maroon over the other thing. This really sucks. Yeah, sure. I think that I'm going to have enough room to buy some other stuff this next turn. Like this, I think, is going to be probably just village, watchtower, or village. Yeah, village, watchtower. Sounds good. Maybe village, throne room, watchtower. Definitely having one of those games where I'm not really paying enough attention to what my opponent is doing, although it looks like they're mostly doing the same thing, and they're also just lowering curses, just for the thrill of it. Yeah, I like this. I think I play the Watchtower before the Galeria. Yeah, I don't know what chariot races do. much money do I have here? I get to just buy a ton of peddlers, so the tournament is perfectly good, I think. And by a ton of peddlers, I mean 2. I still feel like just getting some extra villages because those are a little bit sturdy. This is this thing that Thornurm sometimes does. Should be happening less and less, and I might even draw my maroon here. This is where I wonder if gamesou sees the Galeria thing. That's also perfectly good. Just village watchtower. Not really interested in chariot race. Okay, well. Oh, good. Looks like they haven't gotten any chariot race wins yet. But it also looks like they haven't missed any action plays from moments where they would have had a village instead of a chariot race. I'm going to play the watchtower in case I draw a throne room. Awesome. Okay, well. Everything's running kind of low. I've seen all my watchtowers. So maybe that's supposed to be a watchtower on top. And it was just kind of scrubby. Yeah. That's definitely supposed to be a watchtower. Like, unmistakably. That's supposed to be, yeah. Okay, so piles are super low now. And all my talk of doing awesome Galeria stuff is like not... It's like coming up on the horizon of not being doable. And yet it might still happen here. So all you need is 4 Galeria plays in order for it to be up money. So I think I actually kind of have it here, but we'll make sure. Something I definitely need to do is get plus buys first so that I can do that. Okay. So let me make sure that I'm understanding this correctly. Every time you gain a card costing 3 or 4, you get a buy. So I get 5 buys by virtue of... I get 4 buys by virtue of gaining a silver, which I can use to buy 4 extra coppers. Excuse me, 3 extra coppers. But I do get... So they're going to notice what's going on here and probably resign. Whoa. Oh my god, I had so many autoplays. Wow, whoops. I need to be, like, watching out for that. I'm just like spam clicking. GG. I almost just like completely threw it away. I'm so clumsy with auto clicking and so careless with it, and I'd clicked it so many times. Okay, successfully connect to the new server. That's nice. Pat yourself on the back if you also saw that in spec chat. I'm sure Mick did. Is he watching? Yeah. So I actually think that throne room instead of watchtower there was fine, but if I had also had the watchtower, then I would have just probably had a chance to find the other Galleria and play it. Yeah, I mean, if I just auto-played or auto-bought coppers all the way, I think that I would have lost. I mean, I would have passed turn and I would have... Right, so... Chunks, huh? Definitely don't want to scrounge, because then you can just gain a recruiter, and that sounds really good. Sentinel Silver sounds good. Broker is fine, but it requires you to spend that coffer, or spend that ally. What's it called? Liaison. This thing is ally. What is that called? Maybe it's like Sentinel Scrounge Trash a Copper or something. Because this can trash anything from your hand if you want. This is eventually going to be just invasion, I guess. I think that that's better. Well, I actually think that Tanuki and trash your silvers or trash your horses is nice, but eventually do want to do invasions. Alright, well, I think that this is just Sentinel and maybe it's double Sentinel. Double Sentinel, and if I trash an estate, then I can just scrounge a recruiter. Maybe that's silly. Sentinel Silver? I don't know. This is awkward. I would like to have a second Sentinel be in my shuffle. Oh, jeez, I need to check my fantasy baseball stuff. I was supposed to try to hire a pitcher today. Scheist. Do I have the ability to get somebody in there? Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, that's bad news. Okay, well. Ugh. Plays a cover, buys a poorhouse. I'd like to just have a chance of trashing that extra state. And I do, and I will scrounge for a recruiter here. Maybe it's supposed to be Tanuki. I don't know. Okay, so I will put... Oh, I see. Yeah, this is kind of bad. You just buy a Tanuki. I'm going to do the same thing that I just did. Even there. Ugh. What do we want to gain now? A lot of things sound nice. Tanuki, I think, is the best idea. Just because it turns my sentinel into something. Maybe I still need the sentinel, though. I don't know. This is hard. I mean, I do have a lot of options here. Pretty sure I want to spend a favor. So you're just getting poor houses. Forgot that I have 2 sentinels. Okay. Paddock sounds good. Honestly, Wayfarer sounds good, but Paddock also sounds good again. I don't know what the poor houses are doing, and I haven't been paying enough attention. I mean, if you're getting to trash down and play a bunch of poor houses, that's pretty good. But you're definitely forced to eventually get invasions because that's the only way to get plus buys. This kind of stinks. Eventually, I might want this bazaar, I guess. Darn. That's it. I mean, they're going to get the first invasion, I think, because they're doing all sorts of poor house stuff. Although maybe that's not even true, because they don't have the actions, because they never got recruiters. Scrounge has been great for me. I might even just like scrounge for the exercise here. And by that I mean to gain an extra state, which I can use for Recruiter. This is also a board that, I mean, Tanuki is like it's in the shadow of Recruiter here as like just ridiculous 5 cards. I guess they're finally doing Recruiter. That means that you're probably going to be able to invade. But this one Tanuki that I'm playing every turn feels really great. I think that I'm just scrounging again, right? Or is that a waste? Because I'm not struggling to draw. So yeah, I'll just take that extra state because it does stuff for me. But yeah, you're probably going to get to invade. And invade, I mean, once you start invading, there's a lot of tempo. As soon as this turn, they'll be able to buy something else too, because they had a lot of extra money. I like my deck that has draw. Okay, well, now they have draw too, so. What's left in my deck now? Just horses? Just like a ton of horses, I'm sure. Alright, well, I'm going to be able to invade too. I don't really have a need to draw the rest of this, I suppose. Gain an action that I put on top of my deck. Pilgrim sounds good. Insignia, great. I'm not super bothered by that. I think my plan is going to be to recruit the duchy and then Tanuki horses. So you get to invade again. Unless you really don't want to. Yeah, they don't even get to play the Tanuki. But this is still a pretty solid turn. I mean, there's kind of nothing. Oh, I don't agree with that. Sure, I'll discard. There's nothing stopping me from just like chaining Tanukis, really. Jeez. Yo, where's my recruiter? Yeah, I'll get at least one more Tanuki. At least one more paddock too. Alright, well, I really need something that gives me plus buy. Kind of now realizing that we're in that classic loot tragedy event. Also, I'm going to do another Tanuki too. That's good. Okay. May I have something that gives me plus buy? Let's top deck a Bazaar. Yes, I may. Okay. I will not top deck that. I would like to play it, please. I would like to invade once again. I don't know. Just another Pilgrim, another Wayfarer. That sounds good. Piles are not really low here, which is why I was like so skeptical of the province. Honestly. Broker sounds good just because I'm not getting that much out of these duchies. I mean, I'd like to trash them for all of the villagers they're worth. I don't know, maybe that should have just been another recruiter. Maybe there's like a giga pilout that I'm missing this game. Man, I'm like having flashbacks of when I auto-played all those coppers. That was like, ugh. I mean, I was all the way down to one buy, and maybe there's just like some part of my brain that just like magically counted n-1 coppers. I don't think I ever showed this kingdom. I'll have to do that at the end. I'll do it now in case anybody's wondering. Yeah, where n was the amount of bytes that I had, and I just like I just like issued 18 clicking commands to my finger, and it just did that. All right, so I don't quite have the ability to gain all these, or to gain 4 provinces, and oh, I totally do. Never mind. So we'll have to see how this goes, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I can trash that insignia. Definitely getting kind of carelessly low. Right, so if I gain 4 provinces, then it doesn't matter, so what was the... I got an extra prize go, right? So yeah, so I have 3 buys. I also have 3 Tanukis, so I think I will trash the duchy. Maybe that's kind of silly to do. But I probably already like have it here, right? I'll just make sure. That, I believe, is the match. GG. Might be wrong about that, though. Triple G. I should have checked this before. Yeah. I don't know why I always say I'll report in the championship, because it's not like the loser's going to go do it. The loser's going to like be like, okay, I don't have to be in the shuffle at Discord anymore, so I'm just going to be done. See ya. right. So I'm going to quickly go and flip up the kingdoms that I don't know if I did, which I believe was the third one I don't know if I did, and the last one I didn't do at the beginning. So yeah, okay. Let me load this from the beginning. This isn't a spoiler. Turn off spectators. Also going to leave from Discord now. Yeah, this board. Okay. And the last board I didn't do until... Yeah, that was... Well, let me not give my match spoilers while I'm showing the kingdoms. These are kind of hard to read. Maybe I should just always be zooming in a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so my last thoughts about that match, I definitely had this like preternatural feeling that I was going to lose the whole thing. It was in that third game that just didn't feel like I understood how it was going, the Snake Witch Menagerie Procession Bridge Troll thingy. Yeah, like, I don't know, the first time that they played a bridge troll and I like got that bridge troll attack, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna lose this match. I mean, if you're down 2-1, you're never favored anymore. I would say that I'm slightly favored against gamesou from the beginning, but like once I'm down a match or once I'm down a game, I don't think that that's true anymore. Especially because I was like, I think that was the game that I started. I was the first player in that one. Let me make sure that I had that right. Yeah, we did alternate. Oh, but I was second player in the third game. Okay. And I don't know. It's just the first time that they played a bridge troll. Whenever your opponent plays a bridge troll, it just feels like you're gonna lose. And they played a bridge troll. I didn't even have one at that point. That was like when I was trashing like silvers and stuff with my spice merchant. It was just not really going well, or it wasn't going anywhere. And that was a game that it's hard to explain why I won it. I think that going for Joust was kind of a waste of time. Like, this match is great for you if you want to see somebody be the first person to joust. Well, I guess I was the first person to resolve a joust in that first game, but or first person to gain a reward at least. Maybe I should go back and see if I believe that gamesou could have sorry, this is a spec chat for this other game that I was watching. It's on a Saturday today where everybody is playing out their championship matches. Yeah, so I want to, let's like go back to like 2:30 or something. Whoops. Right, so go back to this horrible turn where they didn't draw their province. That's obviously just too bad. I mean, I will contend that I was building the better deck for like most of this game. And it's just that gamesou had the misfortune of... Oh, I went back too far, I think. Right, so you did this. Oh, you put the joust on top. Okay, guess I don't know what you bought next. Oh, you could have bought a Stampede here. Instead, they bought a province. That's interesting. So let me play back what happens. Given that they wait, what? Did I just like go back too far? What's the deal with this? Or did I not go back far enough? Okay, there's kind of like some, oh yeah, this is okay, this is a game where I, Shad, aka, oh, and interestingly, yeah, I would take the bridge stroll here, technically. Yeah, so you had a province at the bottom too. Okay, well, let's see if there's a different way to do that. Let's look back to this turn. Yeah, it looks like they have to play the joust. And you totally don't have a way to Stampede here. Okay. Yeah, I actually don't think that they would have been able to pile cavalries and also buy a province. But they didn't need to. All they needed to do is buy pile cavalries and then also buy an estate. I still don't know if they were able to do that. Probably, I mean, if they just found the, oh, they would have needed to pile cavalries and then also empty changelings. I think. Did I empty the next one? I don't know. All right. Not obvious to me how this game is supposed to go. Anyway, they got super unlucky. They didn't see the province. I always think that in these formerly tournament games and now joust games that you're just always supposed to build the most competent deck that you can first, especially if there's something like Hunting Party. I mean, you notice that I chose Hunting Party over Joust a couple times, and I think that gamesou never did. It's funny that, like, if you're going like Turbo Joust, there's probably some way to make it work with Stampede. It's just that Stampede is really bad when there's Royal Galley and stuff. Because you can never... There's like a ton of times where the option of just like ending actions and buying Stampede and skipping your other thing, that just wouldn't be possible. So yeah, but I think I was like more focused on Royal Galleys. I know that I had like 6 of them kind of going by the end of the game, and I think that gamesou only had like 1 or 2. Well, they I think ended up with 4 of them total, but they didn't really play them so much. So I would say that their pilgriming was very good. In fact, like, I don't know, as far as getting Joust enabled, Pilgrim is not much worse than Hunting Party. I just kind of am skeptical of that because it doesn't have the effect of begetting more Royal Galley plays. You can only Royal Galley Pilgrim once, and there's one of those turns where, like, if they had a Hunting Party instead, it would have been different. Yeah, so I mean, this isn't even really a game where they turbo jousted more than me. It's just that they kind of slightly did early jousts, and they also didn't do like they chose Pilgrim instead of Hunting Party as their draw card. I just sort of prefer Hunting Party. I mean, Hunting Party finds you your province, and you know, not necessarily better than Pilgrim, but it still has like a strong effect compared to just being a laboratory of hunting down a province, because it's going to be the thing that you have one of in your deck. The one thing is that I just didn't gain a province. I never did that, and I don't know when I would have had the chance to do that. I think I bought Hunting Party over Province maybe once. I don't know. This is a tricky game. Anyway, the whole point is that I was citing this set as an example of, Joust is a card that for newer players, and even like kind of higher level players that just haven't played with Joust that many times, it does not feel like something you can skip. And it's just that it's something that doesn't lend itself to other good deck building practices, because you have to get Joust and also Province, and that like really, like you're always turning down a lot of other stuff when you do that, and that whenever you're turning down a lot of stuff, it means that you had a lot of options of other things to get other than Joust and Province, and you kind of just have to be a strong player. I don't know. I mean, it's not like I did a lot of particularly brilliant stuff here. I gained like 3 cards, a bunch of them Falconer, Royal Galleon, Hunting Party. It's just that Joust will beat the like second best choice of other stuff for the kingdom a lot of the time. But if you're kind of doing everything else exactly right, then that's usually better than Joust. I'm not claiming that I'm doing everything else exactly right, and it's not exactly the way that I'm describing it. It's a great card, and you'll find a lot of kingdoms where there isn't anything faster. I would think of this as a kingdom that has the potential to be faster than Joust. And I was like kind of playing in a way where I was like not really that invested in definitely getting it first, because even if I don't get Renown, I can still play Bridge Trolls, and Bridge Trolls are great. And they do the same thing that Renown does, eventually. But Joust is still strong here. I don't know. Like, all these things that I'm saying, it's not super clear that they're exactly correct about this board. Because it's just that if gamesou got to reveal their Province, which they could have honestly even done, like, a whole shuffle before the shuffle that they, like, barely missed it, I think. It would have just been slightly unlikely for them to do it. And they would have been great. So, it just kind of boils down to that. They had, like, a slight chance of having a great outcome that didn't happen. And you always have to just also recognize whenever that's true. And that's a sign that the person who was facing that person didn't necessarily do the exact right thing. I think that this is a great board for playing like non-committally to Joust and just trying to build a good deck. And I think that Hunting Party is just something that does that. It makes you continually draw your cards. It lets you play more than one Royal Galleon a turn. Joust also lets you do that, but Hunting Party is just better. Yeah, I mean, both of us ended up with 2 Jousts, so it's not like I can claim to be, and I kind of won the game after I resolved the Joust, which is funny. I mean, and I'm spending all this time arguing that it wasn't the thing that made the difference. All right. Anyway, if you're still listening to this video, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. If you quit earlier, you just won't get to hear me say it. I bet that my next opponent is going to be somebody that will make me shudder in my shoes. And I will aim to record that same match, or that match, in the same way. Okay, signing off.